So today we're looking at expanding algebraic expressions. So remember, algebraic just means it has the letters and numbers together. And expression just means we just don't have no equal sign, okay? So we're going to look, and when you expand like brackets, so that's what we're going to see. So if we have, say, a number outside a bracket, and then we might have some letters and numbers inside the bracket, when we expand that out, what we actually do, the steps are called the distributive law. You don't need to worry about knowing that name. You're just, the way we do it, that's what you're doing, okay? So who can tell me, what does a bracket mean? What operation do you need to do? Plus, minus, multiply, divide? What? Good. Thank you, Stephen. So a bracket means you need to multiply everything that's on the outside with everything that's on the inside. Okay? So that's what we would do. We would go to, so for this little example I'm doing, I do 2, it'll be 2 times x, and then you'll have plus 2 times 2. Okay, so what if I have 2 times x, do I have to write it like that? I can write it, how can I simplify that? 2x, good. Now, can you do 2 times 2? Yeah, what would that be? 4. So I've got 2x plus 4. Now, we can't add them together now. That's all we can do because they're not like terms. Only if they were both x's could I add them together. So once I get to that, I'm done. I'm finished. I've expanded that expression. So let's have a look at here. They've got us drawing, and we can get a diagram. So it's telling us here, write an expression. So remember, expression is just when you have some letters and numbers with adds and pluses or whatever, but no equal sign. So write an expression for the rectangle with the area 1. So they're saying just this rectangle here. All right, so if I wrote, I'm going to write my answer over here. What you could do is, let's just draw that rectangle by itself so I can see. So it's A1. Now, they've said this length is x and this length is 4. All right, so if I go about my answer, now they said write an expression for the area. Who knows what's the formula for area of a rectangle? Good, I just heard that. It's length times width. So over here, I'm going to write, it'll be length times width to write an expression. What's the length in my rectangle here in A1? What's the length? Doesn't matter which one you pick. We're going to say maybe x, and if the x is the length, the width would be 4. Now, can I write x4 or 4x? 4x. So there you go. That's the answer. There's an expression for the area of that rectangle. So if we look at the next one, it says write an expression for the area of the rectangle of A2. So this is this little one. So if I go and I draw it up, A2, so I can see this length is 2. How can we say what this length is along here? How far is that? So can you see, we can know this is 4 because this length here is the same as that length, isn't it? Yeah, so we know. So if I'm asked to write an expression for the area, an area of a rectangle is still length times width. So I'm going to say this one is 4 times 2. Can I do 4 times 2? Yeah, so that one's 8. So we've just got 8. There you go. Now, in part C, it's asking me to add your results from part A and B to give the area of the whole rectangle. So, if I was doing, so that the area of the whole rectangle, so what they mean is the big shape, this whole rectangle, would be just 4x plus 8. I'd add those two areas together. Now, can I add 4x and 8 together? No, because they're not like terms. So there is all I can do. I just leave it like that. That's the area of the whole shape, okay? We are going to practice some more expanding. So we said before, if we have a bracket, that means you have to multiply everything on the outside that sits on the outside with what's on the inside. Generally start at the left and go across from right. So the first thing I'm doing for this one is I'm doing 2 times x plus 5 times 2, okay? So what's 2x times x? We can write that as 2x. And what's 5 times 2? 10. And there we go. We've done that. So let's go to the next one. We've got to do 3 times 2x. Then I've got to do the 3 times negative 3. Okay, so let's do this bit first. What is 3 times 2x? Remember what we said? We have to multiply the numbers and then put the letters in there. So that would be 6x, good. And what about this bit? 3, what's 3 times negative 3? Good, negative 9. Just remember, if we have a negative times a positive, we get a negative. If we have a negative times a negative, we get a positive. Good. So I could just write the final answer. I'll just put it in the same colour there for you. 6x minus 9. Alright, so now let's go up to this one. We've got to multiply everything on the outside with inside. So first I've got 3y times 2x. Then I've got 3y times positive 4y. Okay, so do this bit first. What's 3 times 2? 6. And what's y times x? We just yx, good. Okay, now I'm doing the next part over here. I'm going to do 3 times 4 is what? 12, good. And what happens when I have a y by a y? Good, awesome. We write y squared. Now, can I add these guys together? No, we can't. Why can't we add them together? They're not like terms. This guy is different to this. Yes? They're different. So we can't add them. We just leave it. So your answer would just be 6yx plus 12y squared. Now, you might see in your answer, they might write xy. Why might they write xy? I heard it. Someone said it. Alphabetical order. Doesn't matter. Both are correct. You both get the answers. So I'm going to stop it there. Okay, so we're going to still continue on with expanding expressions, but this time we're going to have a negative outside the front of the bracket. So what we need to probably remember is that if we have a negative times a negative, that becomes a positive. Good. If you have a negative times a positive, that is a negative, and obviously a positive times a positive is a positive. Okay, we know that one. So remember now, when we're asked to expand, that just means we are removing the brackets. And we do that by multiplying everything on the outside. So this negative 3 is going to get multiplied with the x and also with the 4. So I've got negative 3 times x, and then I've also going to do negative 3 times negative 4. So if I have negative 3 times x, now remember this is like it's got a little positive there, so that's negative 3 times x would be what? Yeah, good, negative 3x. Now we've got here, we have to remember we've got a negative by a negative, so that was like up here. So what's negative 3 times negative 4? Plus 12? So it's going to be plus 12. So that's as far as I can go. Now I can't add them because they are different, aren't they? 3x is different to the constant term of 12. So my answer is negative 3x plus 12. Okay, so we've got another one. So we're going to multiply the negative 2x now. and we're going to multiply it with 3x and also negative 2y. So we've got negative 2x multiplying with 3x, and we've got negative 2x multiplying with negative 2y. Okay, so remembering that this is a positive. So first, if you think about it, we've got a negative and a positive multiplying. So what will our answer be, a positive or a negative of this little part? It'll be, we've got a negative times a positive, will be a? Good. We've got 2 times 3, which is 6. And what's x times x? So when we have it, excellent. X times x is x squared. Awesome. And then we have to be careful here now. We have now got a negative by a negative. So what did that end up being? Good. Excellent. So we've got positive. What's 2 times 2? 4. And what do I do with the x and the y? Yeah, we just leave them together like that. That means x times y. So that's all good. And we like to pop a box around our final answer. Okay? We do the box so in case you're mucking around and you've rubbed out or you're crossing out, you've decided to change your answer in the test, I'll look for the box that you're deciding. Okay, so with this one, when they're asking us to simplify the expression by removing brackets. So really what this is asking us to do, you expand out the brackets and then you, to simplify, expand the brackets, then you group all the like terms if you can. That's what simplify means, okay? So when they ask you group, oh sorry, I should have said like terms. Group like terms, that's what simplifying generally means. Okay. All right, so let's have a look at this one here. Now, can you see we have 8 here, and then we have plus 3 outside this bracket. That 8 is not next to the bracket. It's by itself. So really, when we're going to go work it out, at the moment, I'm not going to do that because that's just there. First thing I'm going to do is expand these brackets. So what that is I've got positive 3 times 2x, and then I've got positive 3 times negative 3. All right, so let's tidy that bit up first. So I'm still not doing anything with the 8. Now, what's 3 times 2x? 3 times 2x? 6x, good. And then I've got a positive 3. Don't forget, we've got a positive by a negative. What would that give?
Negative.
Good, a negative. And what is 3 times 3? 9. Okay. So now we've got to this. We've done the expanding the brackets. Now we probably want to group like terms. So this 8 is a like term with this 9, isn't it? They've both got no letters. So they're both constants. So what we're going to be doing is we've got 8 minus 9, and I really can't do anything with the 6x, it just stays there. So what's 8 minus 9? Minus 1, yeah? So, and then I've got the 6x left. So that's my answer. Just be careful if you're thinking of the number line, whatever. You're up here at 8, and you're going to go backwards 9. Yeah, that would take you to negative 1, okay? All right, you'd go all the way back 8 and then 1 more. All right, awesome. Now with this next one over here, we're still going to expand the brackets, but we've just got 2 bits. All it is, it's like a bigger question, but we still do the same. So we're going to use the brackets first. So I'll do this, I'll do this one first here. So I've got 3 times 2x and positive 3 times positive 2. And then if I did this one here, expanding this bracket, I've got negative 4 times x and negative 4 times positive 4. Okay, so let's have a look. I'm doing this bit here. What's 3 times 2x? Excellent. And what's positive 3 times positive 2? Plus 6. Excellent. Then we've got negative 4 times a positive x, which would be, excellent, negative 4x. And then don't forget, we've got negative 4 times a positive 4. What would that be? Negative 4 times positive 4 would be negative 16. Good. So this is what we've got now. At the moment, we've expanded. So this is expanded now. And now we want to group the like terms. So this guy is like terms with that. And this x is like terms with that, isn't it? Yeah? So if I just, you don't have to, but I'm just going to write them underneath next to each other. I've got 6x minus 4x. That's like terms. And then I've got 6 minus 16. Okay. So let's do the like term operation. So what's 6x minus 4x? Yeah, beautiful. 2x. And then I've got positive 6. So I think I'm up here at positive 6. And I'm going to minus 16. So I'm going all the way back here. What will I be at? Yeah, minus 10, won't I? Excellent. And then there's our answer. Okay. So now we're looking at expanding. So remember that expanding just means removing brackets, yes? And so we're looking at expanding binomial products. So if we think about that, products means times, and what binomial means is like two terms. So can you see here? Can you see I've got one, like sort of one term and two? There's two sets of brackets. That's why it's called bi, because you know a bicycle has two wheels. So there's two sort of things there. Okay, so what we have to do is we're just going to have a try of this. We don't need to worry too much because I'll show you next lesson. We'll use our graphic calculators, but we'll give it a go. So what it happens here is you have to multiply, when you have a bracket, you have to multiply everything in the bracket, outside the bracket with what's in it. So what you're actually doing is you have to multiply this x with that x, and you also have to do it with that 3. And then you also have to then get this 2 and multiply it with that x and that 3. So if you do it this way, like you start with the first term, so what I mean by that, if we start with this x and we multiply, so what we're going to have is we're going to have x times x, and then I have x plus x times positive 3. And then in the blue, I had 2 times x, positive 2 times x, and I had positive 2 times 3. All right, so let's just go and do this. So what would x times x be? Excellent, well done. Then I've got, sorry, that's a little bit messy there. That was plus x, or positive x. Positive x times positive 3, what would that give? Good, excellent. So I've got plus 3x. Then I've got positive 2 times x, plus 2x. And then positive 2 times positive 3, 6x. So 2 times 3 is 6. So if you do it the way I said, in terms of I did those green arrows first and then the blue, what often happens, and you probably see it, can you see the like terms are right next to each other? And that's handy, isn't it? Yeah? Because when you're asked to simplify this, you have to add them if they're like terms. So I can't add the x squared with anything else because there's no other x squareds there. But 3x plus 2x is what? Good. And then the 6, there's no other numbers, is there? So I just leave it. And that's done. And we've expanded that. Okay? So we'll give this next one a go. And we'll do it the same. So we're going to go the 2x with that other first x and then the 2 with things. So I'm going to have 2x, positive 2 times positive x. Then I've got positive 2x times negative 2. Then if I do the next term in the bracket, I'm going to have 3 times like that. So I'll have positive 3 times x and positive 3 times negative 2. So let's just quickly tidy them up. So what would 2x times x be? This, remember, has like a number 1 there. So what's 2 times 1? 2. And x times x is?
Squared.
Yeah, so this bit becomes 2x squared. Now, what about this? 2x times negative 2. What's a positive times a negative? Negative. What's 2 times 2?
4.
And I've still got an x there, haven't I? Yeah. What's 3 times x? 3x. And what's positive 3 times negative 2? Remember, positive by a negative gives a negative. So what's positive 3 by negative 2? Good, negative 6. So I've done that, and hopefully here again my like terms are here. There's no other squared term there, so I just write it 2x squared. Now if I owe 4x and then I give 3 back, how much do I owe? So negative 4 plus 3x.
1.
Yes, good. I still owe 1x, don't I? So if you're back here at negative 4 and you're going to add 3, you go that way, okay? So I've got minus x minus 6. So my final answer was 2x squared minus x minus 6, and that's there. Okay.